This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Welcome back to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio and our Healing Circle. This is month 3, week 2. Welcome again, everyone. Let's begin by arriving, not just physically, but internally. Take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and allow your body to just settle just a little bit. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere, let it go. Notice if your mind is already moving ahead, and gently bring yourself back. You don't need to be anywhere else right now. This week, we are continuing our work with connection, but we are moving deeper. Because for many people, the challenge is not understanding connection. The challenge is this: connection does not feel safe in the body. And when someone doesn't feel safe, as we've talked about often, the body will not fully enter it, no matter how much the mind wants to. So tonight, my friends, is about slowing down and understanding what has my system learned about connection. So here is a deeper truth. Connection is not just an emotional desire. It is a physiological experience. That means your body is constantly asking, am I safe here? Can I relax here? Will I be hurt here? Or will I lose myself here? If the answer is uncertain, the system does not open fully. Instead, it guards, monitors, controls, and holds back. So when people say, I don't know why I struggle with connection, it is often not confusion. It is a protective response that makes sense. This is where compassion begins. Because instead of asking, what's wrong with me, we begin asking, what did I experience that taught me to protect here? And as always, my friends, our 5 learning points. Learning point number 1, safety, not desire, drives connection. Many people believe if I want connection, I should be able to have it. But desire is not the deciding factor. Safety is. You can deeply want love, closeness, friendship, and support, and still feel tense, guarded, unsure, or overwhelmed. That is because the nervous system does not respond to desire. It responds to felt safety. So if your system learned that connection is unpredictable, overwhelming, or painful, it will hesitate. This is not weakness. This, my friends, is intelligence. Number 2, the body holds connection memory. Even if your mind says this is a different time now, this person is safe, your body may still react. Why? Because the body stores experience through sensation. If past connection involved disappointment, emotional inconsistency, pressure, or invalidation, then your system may associate closeness with risk. So it prepares. You might feel tightness in your chest, pulling back emotionally, difficulty relaxing, or overthinking. This is not something to override. This is something to listen to and work with gently. Learning point number 3. Emotional safety is often what was missing. Many people had connection without emotional safety. They were physically present with others, part of relationships, and surrounded by people. But emotionally, they were not fully safe to express themselves, feel, need, or be seen. So their system learned connection does not equal safety, and that becomes the pattern. Learning point number 4. Guarding is a form of care. When your system guards, it is not working against you, it is actually working for you. Guarding says, I remember something, I want to prevent pain. This might look like staying surface level, not sharing too much, pulling back, or being cautious. Instead of judging it, we begin to say, thank you for protecting me. Now let's see what I need now. That, my friends, is healing. Learning point number 5. Healing builds safety, not force. You cannot force yourself into safe connection. You build it through awareness, pacing, consistency, supportive environments, and allowing yourself to go slowly. Safety is built in small moments, and over time, those moments change your capacity. So let's talk about this in real life. For example, you want to open up, but something holds you back. You feel more comfortable staying surface level. You overthink after interactions, and you feel tension when closeness increases. These are not failures, these are signals. Now let's look at this from our power of 3 integration. In energy medicine, when the system feels unsafe, energy contracts inward. When it feels safe, energy opens and flows. Connection, my friends, is literally an energetic experience of openness versus protection. In Ayurveda inspired living, any imbalance creates anxiety, instability, fear, and a host of other issues depending on your body type. This makes connection harder because the system does not feel steady. A Vata imbalance specifically, remember the Vata body type, specifically creates high anxiety, instability, and fear. The Pitta Vata the Pitta body type creates excess heat and intensity, uh, inflammation like rashes, acne, heartburn, and emotional volatility like anger, impatience, irritability, or criticism. A Kapha imbalance often creates excessive physical and mental heaviness, weight gain, lethargy, congestion and stubbornness, excessive sleep, slow digestion, fluid retention, emotional attachment, and depression. Now let's look at herbal wisdom. Calming support helps the body soften enough to feel, receive, and stay present. When you use herbal supplements or herbal supports, as long as you're using high quality, pure as possible, plant-based, the real deal herbs, then this provides the support for your body. And calming herbs provide a softening effect. This week, my friends, or today in particular, let's look at our essential oil spotlight. For Monday, the essential oil spotlight, thank you for being patient with me, is cedarwood. Cedarwood is deeply grounding, calming to the nervous system, comforting and relaxing. It promotes emotional stability and balance. It supports feeling rooted, and it creates healthy looking skin. So before connection, the body needs grounding. Cedar wood is a beautiful essential oil by doTERRA that achieves just that. It helps create a sense of internal stability that allows connection to begin. Remember any of the essential oil spotlights. The link is in the description as well as in the first comment. Connection requires presence, my friends. But when the system feels overwhelmed, foggy, or depleted, presence becomes very, very difficult. Agara Cafe or Agara Matcha is a functional coffee and tea, promotes mental clarity, steady energy, calm focus, and better metabolic function. Support increases your capacity to stay present in connection. And if you look at uh, Agara Cafe, you can see that it has a host of beautiful ingredients, as well as this is not the complete ingredients list, but it has lion's mane mushroom, bromamate for metabolic support. The lion's mane is for mental clarity. Green coffee bean is antioxidants. Berberine HCl is for balance of appetite. Saffron is for mood balance. Lotus leaf is a gentle detox. Citrus aurantium boosts energy, and L-theanine creates a calm focus. And this is a lovely, it's very smooth. I love this. I use this twice a day. That's the maximum recommendation. But this is an amazing, truly holistic, uh, functional coffee. It's much more than any other mushroom coffee that's out there on the market. So once again, the link is in your description as well as in the first comment. As always, my friends, our 5 reflection questions for tonight. If you have not started journaling, please do so. It's so important. Start by one day a week or one night a week for 5 or 10 minutes. That's it. Number 1, what does connection or when does connection feel unsafe in my life? Number 2, what happens in my body when closeness increases? Number 3, what do I tend to do? Withdraw, overgive, or guard? Reflection question number 4, what might my system be protecting me from? And number 5, what helps me feel even slightly more grounded or safe? Before we close, be reminded that if the topic tonight or any of the topics that we discuss resonate with you, you can go a little deeper at your own pace by joining our healing circle on Patreon. So if this space spoke to you and you're looking for a deeper place to land, I suggest and invite you to join the healing circle. This is where we continue the work with more depth through teaching, reflection, and ongoing support in a more rooted community. Also, explore Evolve Global 22's Healing Boutique. You can see our curated supportive tools and products that connect directly to the work we're doing here, helping you bring healing into your daily life in a practical way. You can explore Evolve Global 22's website, where everything is organized and simplified so that you can see our full offerings. And then the last thing is explore our aligned income pathways. If you're in a season where you're not only seeking healing, but also looking for a path toward more stability and aligned income, there's a space for that here as well. This is for those who feel drawn to the wellness lifestyle and building something meaningful while staying connected to healing and purpose. And don't forget, as always, to get your spotlight oil tonight, cedarwood. And on that note, my friends, I wish you all the best. I wish you a lovely week ahead. Remember, healing lives here, wholeness lives within you. Your morning routine matters more than you think. Agara Cafe and Matcha Agara aren't just drinks, they're daily support. Agara Cafe is a smooth, functional coffee designed to give you steady energy, mental clarity, and metabolic support without the crash. Matcha Agara offers a calmer, more focused, supporting mood, balance, and gentle energy throughout your day. With ingredients like lion's mane, L-theanine, and plant-based support for metabolism and mood, this is about more than caffeine. In Evolve Global 22, this is the power of 3. Energy medicine, steady and sustained. Ayurveda-inspired living, supported and balanced. And herbal medicine, clear and focused, because how you start your day shapes everything that follows. There is a reason lavender is one of the most trusted oils. It meets you exactly where you are, not with force, but with gentleness. Lavender supports the body in softening, the mind in quieting, and the nervous system in feeling safe enough to let go. From a science perspective, lavender interacts with neurotransmitters, helping calm the stress response and support emotional balance. But what matters most is what you feel. A deep breath that comes easier, a sense of exhale in your body, a quieting of the noise you didn't even realize you were holding. Lavender doesn't push change, it creates the conditions for it. And that's where real healing begins. In Evolve Global 22, we understand lavender through the power of 3. Energy medicine, it soothes and settles. Ayurveda-inspired living, it supports rest, repair, and regulation. And in herbal medicine, it invites calm, clarity, and emotional ease. Simple, foundational, and consistent. Because something healing isn't about doing more. It's about allowing your body to finally feel safe enough to rest. And lavender helps guide you there. This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 31st, the last day of March. Can you believe it? Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio and our Healing Circle. Take a moment to arrive. Let your body settle. Let your breath soften and just simply notice. How are you showing up today? Last night, we explored something very important. Connection does not happen where the body does not feel safe. And tonight, we take the next step because once we understand safety, we have to ask what creates safety in connection. And one of the most important answers is boundaries. But many people misunderstand boundaries. They think boundaries push people away. But the truth is, healthy boundaries are what allow connection to stay safe and sustainable. So remember, without boundaries, connection often becomes overwhelming, draining, confusing, one-sided, or filled with resentment. Why? Because without boundaries, you begin to override yourself, give beyond your capacity, stay when something doesn't feel right, silence your truth, and absorb more than yours. So boundaries are not about distance. They are about clarity and self-connection within relationship. A boundary says, this is what works for me. This is where I end and you begin. This is how I stay connected to myself while being with you. That is what makes connection safe. So let's talk about our 5 learning points tonight. Number 1, boundaries protect connection. They do not destroy it. Many people avoid boundaries because they fear losing connection. But what actually happens without boundaries is resentment builds, exhaustion builds, and disconnection builds because you are no longer showing up as your true self. You are showing up as a version of you that adapts. Healthy connections require truth, and boundaries protect that truth. Learning point number 2. Boundaries are clarity, not rejection. A boundary is not saying, I don't care about you. It is saying, I care about this connection enough to be honest about what works for me. It creates clarity, and clarity reduces confusion. Without boundaries, my friends, relationships often become unclear and emotionally unstable. With boundaries, relationships become more grounded. Learning point number 3. Overgiving is often a lack of boundaries. Many people don't lack care, they lack boundaries. So instead of saying, I need space, I can't do that right now, or that doesn't work for me, they overgive, overextend, and overcommit. And over time, that leads to burnout, resentment, and emotional distance. Overgiving may look like love, but often it is fear of losing connection. Learning point number 4. Fear of boundaries is fear of loss. At the core, many people fear, if I say no, will I still be loved? If I set a boundary, will I still be accepted? So they stay quiet. But there is a deeper truth here. Connection that requires you to abandon yourself is not a safe connection. Boundaries reveal what is healthy, what is sustainable, and what is real. Learning point number 5. Safe connection respects boundaries. One of the clearest signs of safe connection is this: your boundaries are respected, not pushed, not guilted, not ignored, but respected. And this is where discernment begins, because how someone responds to your boundary tells you a lot about the safety of the connection. So let's think about this in our day to day. We say yes when we feel no, feeling drained after interactions, doing more than you actually want to, feeling responsible for others' emotions. These are often signs that boundaries are needed. Now let's look at it through our power of 3 integration perspective. In energy medicine, my friends, without boundaries, energy leaks outward. With boundaries, energy stays more contained and balanced. From an Ayurveda inspired living perspective, when ungrounded or imbalance sets in, it becomes harder to hold boundaries. Grounding supports clarity and stability in connection. And through herbal wisdom, when we support our body and our entire system with herbal, natural, plant-based remedies, we regulate, we stay steady, and we tolerate discomfort, because boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first. Patchouli essential oil by doTERRA. The benefits of this beautiful oil is it's deeply grounding, stabilizes emotions, supports presence in the body, and helps reduce scattered energy. Boundaries, my friends, require you to stay rooted in yourself, even when it feels uncomfortable. So I suggest try this oil, patchouli. It supports that rootedness. You can get yours. The link is in the description and in the first comment. Now let's look at our elevated coffee, elevated life. My friends, boundaries require clarity, emotional steadiness, presence. When you are overwhelmed or mentally scattered, it becomes harder to build boundaries. Agara Cafe and Matcha Agara promote and support clear thinking, calm focus, and steadier energy, along with metabolic function. You are more able to hold your boundaries when your system is supported. And tonight I've put up in front of you the actual ingredients. Lion's mane for mental clarity, chromamate for metabolic support, green coffee bean for antioxidants, berberine HCl for which balances appetite, saffron, which has long been known for as a mood balance, lotus leaf, which is a gentle detox we all need, citrus aurantium boosts energy, and L-theanine creates calm focus. This beautiful, lovely coffee, which is a part of my daily ritual, it's a functional coffee. It's much more than a mushroom coffee and much more than anything that's out there on the market now. That is why I decided to become an ambassador of this wonderful product. You can get yours through my website, or the link is in the description as well as in the first comment. Now, my friends, as always, we are at the point of the reflection journaling questions. Number 1, where do I struggle to set boundaries in my life? Number 2, what do I fear will happen if I do? Number 3, where am I overgiving instead of being honest? Number 4, how does my body feel when I override my needs? And number 5, what is one small boundary I can begin practicing? My friends, tonight I would like to invite you to join our Healing Circle on Patreon. If this space speaks to you and you're looking for a deeper place to land, this is where you can do it, inside our Healing Circle on Patreon. This is where we continue the work with more depth through teachings, reflection, and ongoing support in a more rooted community. Next, please explore Evolve Global 22's Healing Boutique. You can see our curated supportive tools and products that connect directly to the work we are doing, helping you bring healing into your daily life in a practical way. Also, I really encourage you to explore Evolve Global 22's website. You can see the full vision and everything and how it's been organized and simplified. You can explore at the link in the description. And then I welcome you to explore aligned income pathways. If you're in a season where you're not only seeking healing, but also looking for a path toward more stability and aligned income, there is a space here for that as well. This is for those who feel drawn to wellness, lifestyle, and building something meaningful while staying connected to healing and purpose. So take a look at everything. I do welcome you and encourage you to do so. And remember, my friends, healing lives here. Wholeness lives within you. There's something about frankincense that feels ancient, steady, and deeply grounding. This isn't just an oil. It's been used for thousands of years in rituals, in healing, in moments of connection. Frankincense works gently but powerfully. It supports the body in slowing down, the mind in quieting, and the nervous system in finding a sense of safety. From a science perspective, its natural compounds help regulate inflammation and support the brain's ability to shift out of stress. But what matters most is how it feels. When you use frankincense, you may notice your breath deepen, your thoughts soften, and your body begin to settle. This is where healing begins, not in force, but in safety. In Evolve Global 22, we see frankincense through the power of 3. Energy medicine, it grounds and centers you. In the body, it supports natural balance and restoration. And in the mind, it creates space for clarity and calm. Simple, supportive, and functional. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is return to stillness, and frankincense helps guide you there. Bergamot is something you feel almost instantly, a gentle lift and a quiet calm at the same time. It doesn't push you, it supports you. Bergamot helps the body release stress while softly uplifting your mood. From a science perspective, its natural compounds help regulate stress hormones and support emotional balance. What matters most is the shift you feel: a lightness in your chest, a softening of tension, a sense that things feel a little more manageable. In Evolve Global 22, we see bergamot through the power of 3. In energy medicine, it lifts and clears heaviness. And from an Ayurvedic perspective, it helps release stress and tension. And from herbal medicine, it brings calm, clarity, and ease. Sometimes healing isn't about doing more, it's about lightening what you're carrying. And bergamot helps guide you there. This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 1st, and welcome. This is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio and our healing circle. So let's get right into this. Take a breath. Notice your body. Tonight, we move into something that changes connection completely. Honesty. Because here is the truth. Connection cannot grow where truth is missing. You can be around people, you can even feel close, but if you're not being real, connection stays limited. Many people were taught that honesty is safe. They learned, they were not taught that honesty is safe. They learned, don't say too much, don't upset others, don't express everything, and don't be too emotional. This is particularly the case with us women. So they learned to edit themselves, and over time, they lost connection with their own truth. So tonight is about rebuilding that. Not harsh honesty, not reactive honesty, but safe, grounded honesty. So let's get right into it, my friends, with our 5 learning points. Number 1, honesty creates depth and breadth in connection. When we talk about honesty, most people think of it as just telling the truth. But in connection, honesty does something much deeper. Honesty creates both depth and breadth in connection. Depth means emotional closeness, being known, and being seen beyond the surface. Without honesty, people can be physically close, but emotionally distant. You may be in conversations, relationships, even long-term connections, and still feel unseen, misunderstood, and disconnected because the real you is not fully present. And breadth means range, flexibility, and the ability for a relationship to hold different emotions, experiences, and truths. Without honesty, relationships become very, very narrow. They can only handle I'm fine, agreeable conversations, surface level sharing, but they cannot hold discomfort, difference, real emotion, evolving needs. So the relationship stays limited. Without honesty, relationships stay surface level, misunderstandings quietly grow, assumptions replace clarity, and emotional distance increases because people are relating to a version of you, not the real you. With honesty, people get to meet you, not the edited version, not the manageable version, not the agreeable version, the real, authentic you. And that is what allows connection to become deeper, fuller, more alive, and more sustainable. Learning point number 2, Many people learned honesty is unsafe. This is one of the most important truths to understand, my friends, because when people struggle with honesty, they often think, what's wrong with me? But nothing is wrong. Your relationship with honesty was learned. If honesty was met with rejection, criticism, being ignored, being misunderstood, or emotional withdrawal, then your system learns something very important. It is not safe to say what I really feel. So, what did you do? You adapted. You learned to hold back, soften your truth, say less, say it differently, or not say it at all. This is not a weakness. This is intelligence. Your system made an adjustment to stay connected, stay accepted, and to stay safe. So when honesty feels hard now, it is not resistance. It is memory, my friends. Now, let's talk about how we can shift this. So, a healing shift. Instead of saying, I need to be more honest, we begin to say, what made honesty feel unsafe for me? That question opens compassion, and compassion allows change. Learning point number 3, silence often replaces truth. When honesty feels unsafe, silence becomes the strategy. Instead of saying that hurt, I need something different, that didn't feel right, or I'm not okay with that, people say nothing. Why? Because silence feels safer than conflict, rejection, being misunderstood, being too much. So silence becomes protection. But here's the truth, silence protects you in the moment, but creates distance over time. So, what happens with silence? Needs go unmet, emotions go unexpressed, misunderstandings grow, internal tensions build. And over time, you begin to feel disconnected, unseen, and frustrated, even though you are still in the relationship. Silence doesn't just create distance from others, it creates distance from yourself. Because each time you silence your truth, you move slightly away from your own experience. We don't force truth. We begin by noticing, my friends, where am I staying silent? What am I not saying? Awareness is the first step back to connection. Learning point number 4, truth builds trust over time. Honesty can feel uncomfortable in the moment because it introduces vulnerability, uncertainty, and emotional exposure. But what it builds over time is powerful. It builds clarity, trust, stability, and predictability. Because when you are honest, people know where you stand, what you feel, and what matters to you. There is less guessing, less confusion, less emotional instability. Without honesty, people fill in the gaps. They assume, they misinterpret, they create stories, and that leads to confusion, insecurity, and disconnection. With honesty, my friends, the relationship becomes deeper and clarity creates safety. A very important truth is this: trust is not built by perfection. It is built by consistency in truth. Honesty may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but over time, it becomes the foundation of safe, stable reconnection and real connection. Learning point number 5, honesty can be gentle and grounded. One of the biggest misunderstandings about honesty is this: if I'm honest, I have to be blunt or harsh. This is not true. Honesty does not need to sound like reactive, sharp, overwhelming, or confrontational. Honesty can sound calm, clear, steady, and respectful. So, an example of a shift: instead of "you never listen to me," you might say, "I don't feel heard in those moments, and I want to share that with you." Why does all this matter? Because how truth is delivered affects how it is received. Gentle honesty keeps the nervous system regulated, keeps connection open, and reduces defensiveness. Safe honesty is not about releasing everything, it is about expressing truth in a way your system can stay present for. You don't have to force the truth. You can slow it down, soften it, stay connected to yourself while expressing it. When we bring all this together, honesty creates depth and range in connection. Difficulty with honesty is learned, not a flaw. Silence protects short term, but disconnects long term. Truth builds trust through clarity and consistency, and honesty can be gentle, steady, and safe. Connection, my friends, grows when truth is allowed to exist, first within you and then between you. In real life, day to day, saying I'm fine when you're not is an example of a signal for this challenge. Avoiding difficult conversations is another signal. Holding things in, feeling unseen because you haven't shared. All of those are signals that uh, you're challenged by showing and being honest about the real, authentic you. Let's talk about this within our power of three. In energy medicine, truth aligns your energy. When you hide truth, energy becomes fragmented. In Ayurveda inspired living, clarity and steadiness support honest communication. And in herbal wisdom, support helps reduce fear response around expression. And tonight, my friends, our essential oil spotlight is doTERRA's bergamot. The benefits of this beautiful oil, bergamot, is uplifting, it supports emotional openness, helps release heaviness, encourages expression. Honesty, my friends, requires emotional openness. Bergamot helps create a lighter, more open emotional space. You can get your bergamot doTERRA essential oil. The link is in the description or in the first comment. Let's talk about elevated coffee, elevated life. Honesty requires clarity, presence, and steadiness. Agara Cafe and Matcha Agara support clear thinking, calm focus, better metabolic function. It's easier to speak truth when your system feels supported. Get your Agara Cafe and or Matcha Agara. The link is in the description or in the first comment. And just take notice, my friends, these wonderful ingredients. This is a holistic supplemental support. And it's many of our most favored daily ritual of coffee. If you love matcha tea, matcha agara has the same awesome ingredients. So just check it out. Now, my friends, let's talk about our 5 reflection journal questions. Where do I hold back my truth is number 1. Number 2, what feels risky about being honest? Number 3, what am I protecting by staying silent? Number 4, where could I express myself more gently and clearly? And number 5, what would change if I allowed more truth? My friends, I invite you to our healing circle on Patreon. If this space speaks to you and you're looking for a deeper place to land, I invite you to join us inside the healing circle. This is where we continue the work with more depth through teachings, reflection, and ongoing support in a more rooted community. I give one-to-one support. We do guided meditations. There's a monthly masterclass. I just changed that from weekly to monthly so that it could be more deep, and it could bring everything together after the healing circles each week, every month. So check it out. It is a really safe and wonderful place where we all can be on our healing journey together and experience support from one another. Explore Evolve Global 22's Healing Boutique. I've curated supportive tools and products that connect directly to the work we're doing, helping you bring healing into your daily life in a practical way. You can see on Evolve Global 22's website, you can explore the full website and see our full vision and everything that's now been organized and simplified. And then you can also see our explored aligned income pathways. If you're in the season where you're not only seeking healing, but also looking for a path toward more stability and aligned income. This is for those who feel drawn to a wellness lifestyle and want to build something meaningful, and they want to make money at the same time while staying connected to healing and purpose. You can get your cedar wood. You can check out all of these wonderful benefits. The links are all in the description and in the first comment. And tonight, my friends, remember, healing lives here. Wholeness lives within you. Spring and summer pick. Here we have a Susan Graver style red and gold paisley button front tunic. It is light, it's flowy, it's beautiful. You can wear it as a topper, as a jacket. You can layer it. Lightweight, airy, semi-sheer. It is a size 12-14 large. It is in excellent condition, gently loved. This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio and our Healing Circle. It is Thursday, April 2nd, and let's get right into this. Tonight, my friends, we bring everything together. This week, we explored safety, boundaries, and honesty. And now we ask, how do I choose and build safe connection moving forward? Because healing is not just awareness, it is becoming. Connection is not just about opening, sharing, and giving. It is also about choosing wisely, noticing what feels safe, honoring what doesn't, and becoming someone who relates differently. Let's get right into our 5 learning points. Number 1, not all connection is safe or meant to deepen. One of the most important shifts in healing is this: not every connection is meant to become deep, close, or long-term. But many people were taught the opposite. They were taught, keep trying, give more, be more understanding, don't give up on people. So they stay in connections that feel draining, pressured, confusing, and emotionally unstable. And they believe if I just try harder, this will become something healthy. But here, my friends, is the truth. Some connections are situational, seasonal, and limited in capacity. And that does not make them bad. It just means they are not meant to hold depth. So, what we're really talking about here is discernment. What happens without discernment? You may overinvest, overextend, stay longer than feels right, or ignore your body's signals. And over time, this creates exhaustion, confusion, and emotional depletion. Discernment is the shift. Discernment is not judgment, it is awareness. It is the ability, my friends, to notice, how does this feel in my body? Is there steadiness here? Is there respect here? Is there space for me here? Instead of asking, how do I make this work? We begin asking, what is this connection actually capable of holding? That question protects your energy and your healing. Learning point number 2, safe connection feels different in the body. One of the most powerful things you can learn is this: safety in connection is not something you think. It's something you feel. Safe connection often feels like calmer, steadier, less urgent, less pressured, more spacious, and it's easier to breathe. Not perfect, not without challenges, but different. An unsafe connection often feels tight, anxious, uncertain, overthinking, needing to prove or perform, or walking on eggshells. The body knows before the mind understands. Your body will often recognize this feels off. This feels safe before your mind can explain why. Why does this matter, my friends? Because many people override this. They say it's probably fine. I'm overthinking. I should give it a chance. And they disconnect from their own internal signals. We begin to trust if it feels consistently pressured or unstable, that matters. If it feels calmer and more grounding, that matters. Safe connection doesn't require you to ignore yourself, it allows you to stay with yourself. Learning point number 3, you can choose differently now. This is where healing becomes empowering because many people feel like I always end up in the same patterns. I don't know how to do this differently, but here, my friends, is the truth. You were choosing from what you knew then. Now you are choosing from what you see now. Awareness changes your options. Before awareness, patterns feel automatic, reactions feel immediate, and choices feel limited. After awareness, you pause more, you notice more, you question more, and you choose more intentionally. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from understanding, reflection, lived experience, and a new awareness. This does not mean instant change. You may still feel pulled toward old patterns, feel uncertain, or hesitate. This is part of the process, and something that's hard for all of us to do at various times is to trust the process. So instead of expecting perfection, we begin to notice, did I pause a little sooner? Did I notice something I didn't before? Did I choose even slightly differently? This, my friends, is how change happens. Learning point number 4, awareness changes your relationship. Awareness doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you relate. Before awareness, you may miss early signals. You may stay longer than feels right. You may react automatically. And you may prioritize a connection over yourself. With awareness, my friends, you begin to notice sooner something feels off. I feel pressured. Respond differently. Pause instead of react. Reflect instead of override. And you choose differently. Set a boundary. Speak truth. Step back. This, my friends, changes everything, because relationships are not just about the other person. They are about how you show up, what you tolerate, and what you choose. And over time, your relationships begin to shift. Your patterns begin to shift. Your experience of connection begins to shift. Awareness is not passive, it is active. It creates movement. You don't need to control relationships, you need to become aware within them. And learning point number 5, you are becoming someone who connects safely. This is the most important shift of all, because this work is not just about understanding connection, it is about transformation. You are not just learning what connection is, what boundaries are, or what honesty looks like. You are becoming someone who notices their body, honors their needs, and sets boundaries, speaks truth, and chooses differently. This is identity level change, not surface level, not temporary, foundational. You may not feel fully there yet, and that's completely okay, because becoming is not instant. It is built through repeated awareness, small choices, and consistent reflection. That, my friends, is why journaling is so important. The deeper truth here is you don't become someone new all at once. You become them moment by moment. Instead of asking, am I doing this right? We begin to ask, am I becoming more aware? Am I staying more connected to myself? Am I choosing differently, even in small ways? That is the shift. When we bring all of this together, now all connection is meant to deepen. Your body helps you recognize safe versus unsafe. You now have the ability to choose differently. Awareness changes how you show up in relationships. You are becoming someone who connects safely. This is not about fixing connection. This is about becoming someone who experiences it differently. Remember, this week we had 3 essential oils by doTERRA that we talked about: cedarwood, which we use to ground; patchouli, which stabilizes; and bergamot, which opens. Ground, stabilize, and open. That is what these 3 wonderful oils do in our day-to-day support of our body. This is a pathway to safe connection. Don't forget to get your doTERRA Spotlight oils. And then also, every night we have talked about Agara Cafe and Matcha Agara. Elevated coffee, elevated life. This is a functional coffee, not just another mushroom coffee, that supports daily capacity, presence, and consistency. Healing becomes real when you can live it daily. Now for our reflection questions. What now feels safe versus, number 1, what now feels safe versus unsafe in connection? What am I no longer available for? That's number 2. Number 3, what kind of connection do I want to build? Number 4, what am I learning about myself this week? And number 5, what am I becoming in how I relate? In closing, my friends, again, I invite you to join our Healing Circle on Patreon. It's only $7.99 a month. If any of our topics or this space speaks to you and you are looking for a deeper place to land, that is where you do it. We continue the work with more depth through teachings, reflections, and ongoing support in a rooted community. We do guided meditations. We do healing sessions. I support directly upon request. We have a monthly masterclass, which brings all of our healing circles for the month together, and our topics and our learning points, and so much more. Next, explore Evolve Global 22's Healing Boutique. You can explore the boutique and that is where I've curated support tools and products that connect directly to the work we're doing, helping you bring healing into your daily life in a practical way. Explore our website Everything is now organized and simplified, and you can see our full vision. And then last, explore our aligned income pathways. If you're in a season where you're not only seeking healing, but also looking for a path toward more stability and aligned income, take a look. That's a place for you. Now, my friends, I want to just tell you, have a great weekend ahead. Also, be reminded that Fridays now are a curated replay of the weekly healing circles and informational pieces, because it just is a nice way, I believe, to bring it all together. And I received some feedback, and it seems to be working for everyone. So enjoy. I will see you in the circle. Remember, healing lives here, wholeness lives within you.